Hello there, sports fans. I'm Vin Ebenau here with the Shore Sports Network with Kyle Sandberg, head coach of the Toms River High School East football Raiders here in season number 2 for you.
Yes.
Last year you were coming in, succeeding Coach Charlie Diskin, kind of your first year as a head coach, kind of getting your feet wet. What was that first year like for you, kind of now under your belt, heading into year number 2?
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I tell a bunch of the guys after the year, my coaching staff, my principals, my administration, you never know until you're in it. You can read any book you want, you could listen to anybody's philosophies, but until you're in that position and learning it from yourself and learning what to do in certain situations, whether it's practice, whether it's a game, whether it's players, whether it's parents, whether it's anything, until you do it for yourself for the first time. So it was a great teaching tool for me. I learned a lot from it. I learned experience is the best type of way to learn from things, and I'm excited going forward. I really am. I really, truly am about this team, about this program, and about East football. So
I know we talked a little bit at this point last year, kind of about some of the young talent you have coming up. I mean, at the time, some of the seniors who were really, really hungry to get back on the winning note. I know things
did not work out
go that way last year.
Not at all.
Is this kind of a part of the plan? Is to kind of just keep improving, or is what are you looking
I'll
for?
tell you what, we were so young last year. We had about 14 seniors that graduated, a couple starters here and there, but I was so young. I had a lot of sophomore start. I had a lot of juniors that played positions they weren't used to. So this year I'm excited about what I have back. They understand my mentality, they understand my philosophies, they understand what we're doing. Things did change. We changed a lot of stuff offensively and defensively, and they have that year under their belt like I do. So they have that experience. They know what a game situation's like. They know what it's like to go against a different color. And I'm excited for these kids because they are hungry. It's been a long time since we won here in the regular season, and they're just trying to get a W for the first time in a long time.
Do you feel that experience that some of these sophomores or juniors that are now juniors and seniors they had last year playing on the varsity level a little bit kind of helped them? Have they been asking a lot of questions in the offseason about how to improve?
Yeah, it definitely helped them. And these kids, they get it. They understand where I'm coming from. I met with the team the last week of the season, or the week after, I should say, and I did this little ceremony with them, and I moved everybody up, and I said, listen, now you're a grade older. You're a grade different. You are maybe the seniors of the team now, and now it's your time. So what are you going to be doing for the next 9 months, 10 months to improve? And that's been a message for me and these kids from that moment on to the banquet, to the summer workouts, and a lot of them took it to heart. A lot of them got better. A lot of them got stronger. A lot of them got faster. A lot of them understand the game more. So I'm expecting different outcomes than the year before. I really am. And I think the kids, like you said, they're very hungry, and they're working hard. No question, the past 5 days have been great with these kids.
Have you seen a lot of the guys get involved in winter or spring sports?
Yeah, that was my big philosophy with them. I think kids have to be multiple sports. I mean, I'm not a guy that believes in they just stick to football or just stick to basketball, they stick to one sport, because the competition's not there. They have to play other sports, and for us at East, I promote that. That's something that I believe in, where they're going to get skills enhanced with basketball, with track, with baseball, with lacrosse. And it teaches them competition as well. That competition never ends a drive for them. So that's something that I have promoted with these kids. But if they're not doing a sport, they're with me. And they understand that, and they were doing that. So I was happy. I was very pleased.
Staying active, working the muscles, keeping it going.
You're either getting better or you're getting worse.
Yeah.
So you can't stay the same.
Now, what were some of the things you want to improve on from last season to this season? I mean, I'm sure there's a few things.
There's a bunch. There's a bunch. But I'll tell you what, the atmosphere is different. That was a big goal of mine last year, and it's continuing on. Obviously, I want to see us do well, both offensively and defensively. I think our offense kind of made steps in the right direction as the season went on, and our defense suffered. So I think defensively, to do anything, you got to get better to win games. The defense needs to change. We're doing a different scheme. You got to be there. The schemes are different, and their attitude's different with that. So defensively, right off the bat, that's something I want to see improved. Tackling needs to change. Just the whole defensive atmosphere needs to change. And that's how you win games. Defense is everything. The offense is changing up. We're doing different things as well, and they understand what's expected for the offense going forward. So I'm excited. I am. I'm really excited. I'm a different coach than I was a year ago. I think a year ago was just all new, and you're just excited to be in this spot, but you get that experience. And I know what I want this kid to do now going forward.
I know in some of those games last year, I was able to come and cover or watch a couple of them. I know at some of those games, it seems like the defense was a little exhausted by halftime because the scoring the other team was doing. So do you feel like it's a conditioning thing or it's an execution thing?
I think it's a lot of everything. They're young. There are kids that were playing both sides of the ball as sophomores, and that alone, kills the line. O-line, D-line, they can't be doing both ways. It's a conditioning factor on my part. I need to run them harder, and they are running a lot harder in practice. So if you stay for a while, you can watch them. But it's a lot of everything. It's mental fatigue as well as much physical. So everything's changed. The way we practice is different. The way we do hitting drills is different. The way we run our teams is different. So they understand that, and I'm expecting, like I said, a different outcome going forward.
Looks like it's somewhat of a roster to a similar size last year. I mean, you have a lot of guys playing both ways, right?
Yeah, we actually increased numbers big time. We have about we had about 50 on it Saturday. So again, it's early, and so again, a lot of kids are going to get cut, but. We have about 85, 86 right now compared to last year where we had maybe 60. So we had a lot of kids come up for the sign-up meeting. But again, that's a sign-up meeting. People always say they want to do things and they can't do them. So it's
high school sports.
It's high school sports. So again, they got to back it up. And that was my big thing this year with these kids. If there's a message that I told these kids going forward, it's stop telling me, show me. You know, you guys talk about all how you want to win. You talk about how you want to work hard. You talk about this and that. Well, stop telling me. Show us. Because a lot of people are waiting to see a different outcome. Show us. Show us that you've changed. Show us your mentality. Show us your attitude. Show us you care. Show us your effort. Stop talking about it. And that's something that they understand.
Have you seen that change from, I mean, I know it's still early in training camp this year. I know we talked a little bit later at this point last year. Have you seen that kind of change in an atmosphere and
yeah, definitely. When it started in the winter, you know, with these kids who didn't play sports. They're in the weight room, they're lifting, and they understand that they have to show us. And it's funny, another thing we talk about is trust the process. And one of my athletes, Billy, he bought a shirt for me and says trust the process on it. Stay calm and keep calm and trust the process. So that's something that the kids understand too. They got to trust this process. A lot of them, I feel like last year they didn't. And they understand that now. They understand, listen to what we're saying. You know, what you did last year and doing it your own way doesn't work. So by doing it to what the coaches are telling us and why we're hard on them and the intensity level, it's for a purpose. So I think they understand that now. They're getting it.
Do you think they have a better grasp of the playbook on offense and defense?
100%. Again, it's a year. It's a year experience. So we tweaked a couple things here and there as the season went on, and now going into this season, we tweaked a bunch of things. We made it easier for them, but yet should be more effective as well at the same time. So they're getting it. They understand it. And but again, it's somewhat different at times. But I'm happy with where we're at right now. 5 days in, definitely happy.
I know it's a bit of a learning process. I know we spoke last year that maybe wasn't necessarily going to run the gauntlet to win a state title here. But what are some of your goals this year? Is it to aim high, or is it to kind of just see how the season progresses?
No, I mean you always want to aim high. I mean every team right now in training camp and mini camps, they want to win. They want to win everything, and that's the atmosphere for every single team. What I learned last year, and I taught these kids, it's one day at a time. You can't win the Super Bowl or can't win a state title tomorrow. It takes time. It's a building process. You got to do your foundation first, and then keep going forward. I mean, for the team, the goals, they want to win. They got to win a game. They haven't done that. They haven't done that in a long time, and you can't win a state title without winning one game. So it's to win one, but then it starts with quarters. Win the first quarter, win the second quarter. Win things like that. So we take it step by step here, and they get that now, and they're hungry to win. So again, to talk about goals, they got to win. It's been a long time since we won here, so they got to change that. That's goal number one. But it starts, like I said, baby steps.
And you got another tough schedule this year. I know we talked last year about ASUP. It's a really tough division, and then there's some changes made in the offseason, adding teams, subtracting teams, all sorts of divisions. How are you going to approach this season's schedule, knowing you have a tough schedule ahead?
It's the same way I would take any schedule. Every single team is the best team that week. You're playing the best team in that league that week, and that's the way we got to look at it. If we take anybody lightly, then we just get trampled like we did last year. I think everyone has to have a great attitude on this team and a lot of respect for every single team that we play, whether it's the scrimmages, whether it's the games. Right now in minicamp, I'm worried about East. I'm not worried about Central week one. I'm not worried about any of our scrimmages with Donovan or anyone else we're playing. It's a matter of East. Right now we take care of East first, and then we move on to our first scrimmage, which is Donovan, a couple days prior. And then we just take it day by day that way. So
I know there's a few guys that were gone, but I know you have Central on the schedule again. And after what happened last year, do you feel like all the bad blood is gone?
Oh, it's gone. It's stuff that I haven't even talked about. That's done. That's in the past. Coaches at Central were great. The administration was great here as well. And no, there's no bad blood at all. That's not even brought up once. It's kind of forgotten about, and it has to be because you got to move on. You can't keep that. It's not motivation. It's nothing like that. No, it's done. We don't even really talk about it around here.
So players are good with it.
Oh, they're good. They're good. No, we don't even talk about what happened, and we talk about the loss more than anything. Why did we lose that game? How did we lose that game? Why did we get blown out that bad? So those are things we talk about. The extra stuff that happened, It's done. We ended at week 1 when it happened. So they know they can't do stuff like that anymore. I know Central's teams know that they can't do stuff like that anymore. So no, there's no bad blood at all.
Getting back to the schedule, Central obviously week 1, and then if you want to have that kind of chance of extended life into a postseason possibility, how important is it to get off to that hot start against a tough team?
Oh, it's everything. I mean, the week 1's everything, but every game means something. So again, there's teams that have started off slow and maybe didn't win the first 2 games, but ended up on a hot streak and made it to the playoffs. So every game's important, but it doesn't mean because you win or lose week 1, it's going to make or break your season. Starting off with a win is obviously everything for morale, but again, it doesn't make or break the season. A lot of good teams have lost in the beginning of the year and ended up hot and won the state title. There's some teams that started off hot in the beginning of the year and maybe didn't make the playoffs or maybe didn't even win the first opening round. So again, for us at East, a win is everything. It makes a greater atmosphere. It makes morale high. But again, if we're competing, that's the big thing. Are we competing? Are we giving our best effort? Are we doing everything we can to win? That's all you can ask for.
Now, you lost a few guys. Every team does. I mean, last year, you lost, I think, like 22 seniors the year before. Who, maybe one guy, has the biggest shoes to fill of all the guys you lost to graduation for this upcoming season?
Not really. I mean, like I said, they were so young. A lot of them played. I think more of it just competing for a job. I don't think anyone, coming in this year was like, oh, I got to replace, Nick Fairfield, or I got to replace a Jordan Lewis, or I got to replace any of these kids. I think they're just a matter of I want to win a job. I want to play. I want to start. I want to help this team get a W. So, no one has that atmosphere, and none of the coaches in our meetings are like, oh my God, we're gonna figure out somebody for Dylan Ranieri or Vinny Miranda. It's not like that.
So a lot of open competition.
Yeah, a lot of open competition for everything. Everything out here is an open competition. All the kids know it's not. No one's entitled anymore, and those days are done as well. They need to come to work. They need to come and prove that they want to be here. They need to come and prove that they want to win, and they want to win a job. So, no, there's no entitlement. There's no guaranteed who's playing what position. So you might see week 1 different from the scrimmage one. So we don't know what's going to happen.
What would you say the X factor has to be this season for you guys to be successful and take it as far as it can?
It's competition. It's drive. It's the intensity. It's the morale. It's the culture. I think being a team is everything. I think last year we had a lot of individuals. I think we had a lot of kids that went through the ringer of not winning games, and they tried to do their own thing because they wanted to get a W. But that's not how football works. You need 11 guys, and the biggest X factor is just heart and will and desire. I mean, they got to be hungry. And every team's hungry, but you just got to want it a little more. Every team's out there practicing. Every team's doing minicamp. What's going to separate you from them? That's the biggest thing I tell these kids. So it's effort, it's will, and it's heart. So.
Who are some of your leaders, or that one glue guy who kind of keeps everybody focused, everybody together, and kind of heading towards that winning season?
The seniors they're understanding their roles, their leadership. If you want to name, I mean, Tommy Ferrante's been here the longest. He's been up here for 4 years. He's been a varsity starter since a freshman. So they all have their own way of leading. But to answer your question, there was a guy that's been around the block enough. It's him. He's been here through every loss. And, it gives me chills saying that because we want these kids to win. And to know that, it's something that we got to fix quick. So he's been here the longest. And, again, I got a lot of good seniors. I got a lot of good kids with leadership. Evan Ott had a great year last year. We have Jack Goodall coming back. We have Louis Gallo. We have a lot of the seniors that have different roles. Our line's coming back with seniors there. We have underclassmen coming back as well. So I'm excited about what we have forward. But, they all got to be a glue guy, every single one of them. But Tommy's been here the longest, and people go to him for leadership, so things like that.
I know you had a lot of young guys playing the varsity level last year, a lot of the sophomores and a lot of the juniors. Is there anybody who's kind of bursted onto the scene last year or kind of impressed you so far in training camp that kind of impact newcomer to the scene?
Sophomores coming up? I mean, no. I mean, a lot of them are doing. Mark Rothman's been having a hell of a camp right now. That's what a lot of the coaches have been saying. Linebacker coaches, that he's been, shining a lot. I mean, they all have doing something great. The younger kids. Vinny Ferrulo's been stepping a little bit. Justin Dean, Tommy Grandy. A lot of these kids have stepped up. Justin Tucker, Vinny Kirk. I got a lot of young kids. I got a lot of young talent. But I don't get too excited anymore about this because, again, it's what can you do against another color, another team, another jersey. We look great out here, but again, it's different when you're on pads, you're on the line, you're hitting a different team. So the talent's there, the young talent's there. It's just a matter they can put it together and be a team.
What has your message been to this team heading into the season and to the coaching staff to kind of head towards that goal of winning?
Yeah, they're not entitled. You know, I'm not babying kids anymore. You know, they want to be here. They gotta want to be here. They gotta make football a priority. And I feel like that wasn't years past, even last year. So they have to want to win, and it comes from them. That we can draw up any scheme that we want, but it's the kids that represent those X's and O's that make it happen. So for them, it's if any message, just compete, win, be hungry. You know, show me that you want to do it. So I'm excited for them. They're excited, and like I said, they're starting to trust this process. So.
Coach Sandberg, thank you for the time.
Always a pleasure.